Yo, it's Millyz. Shout out to Mikey T, the fucking movie star, man. Report Card Radio.
Millyz, man, I appreciate you joining me today on Report Card Radio, bro.
No doubt.
You know, Millyz, if we can get serious just to start this thing out, you have a story that I'd like to share with our audience. We've seen how serious COVID-19 is directly affecting, several people in hip hop. Could you share your story of your battle with the coronavirus?
Yeah, so at first I was super taking the precautions, but after a few months of like really quarantining and not being around people, I got tired of that shit, and I started rocking out with no mask and just being around groups of people because I live a social lifestyle, you know what I mean? Real social. So I think I was going through withdrawal from not being around people type shit in the capacity that I'm used to. So, I eventually started going out, and I didn't take the precautions. And I started feeling a cold, but I'm like, all right, whatever. I had left New York to go back to Boston because they said the corona was in New York the most. So I'm back in Boston. I'm not even thinking that it's possible to catch a cold. I mean, to catch this shit. I'm thinking it's a lie at this point because I really don't know nobody with it. And I started feeling a cold, and I just went to the hospital to get checked out or whatever, urgent care. Yeah, and they told me I had the Rona, and my mind was blown. I'm like, impossible. That's crazy. And at that time, like, I was just feeling like a bit like I was feeling like a heavy cold, like a real heavy cold. And then within like a day, it spread to my lungs. But I never went to, like, I got out of the hospital, you know what I mean? As soon as I tested positive, like, I was out of there. People kept hitting me and saying, yo, don't let them plug you up to the machines. But it was never my intention to even, stay there. Like, I was going because I'm more on my Dr. Sebi type shit. Like, I'd rather like do it naturally. So, I went to the crib, and I'm there, and I'm quarantining. And I stayed there for 14 days straight. And the first week was crazy. Like, the first week, I started feeling like, I think like the third day, really, like, I realized my breath was to the point where I can't do FaceTimes anymore. So FaceTime calls were dead, and then phone calls were, all together. And my breath got so crazy. That third day, and then the fourth day got even worse. And I'm doing every home remedy. I'm breathing. Anybody who really had COVID, they'll tell you got to take this pot, and you put all type of lemon pills and ginger in it and all type of shit. Eucalyptus, and you gotta boil it. Like, it's recipes that they won't give you, at the hospital and shit like that. But so I'm using my inhalers because I'm asthmatic. You know what I mean? I'm using my inhalers. I'm using the pot. Pepsid AC helps. You could Google that too. But I can't breathe, man. Like, I can't breathe for shit. So the fourth day it got super ugly. And I started thinking, God damn, like, if this shit gets worse, like, I started thinking about my music library and what I would want to drop if I die. Yeah, man, that shit had me thinking. I didn't feel like I was gonna die, but the possibility was there because it got so bad on the third day to the fourth day that I'm thinking, if it keeps getting bad on the fifth and sixth, or the fifth is bad too. And I went like 3 days without speaking. I didn't speak to anybody. Like, I didn't use my voice for 3 days, the first time in my life. I didn't say a word because I needed to preserve my breath. You know what I mean? And then I eventually kicked it. But it was like, I fought that shit really, really, really hard. Like, from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I fought that shit super hard. Like, that second week, my symptoms started easing up, but even after, it's been lingering, man. I still feel like I feel it sometimes. I can still feel the muscles in my back that got hurt from it. And I had talked to a few artists that had it, during the time I had it, and they were telling me, they were like, yo, my muscles still ache. And I'm like, nah, there's no way. But that shit is real, man. But I caught it with 8 other people, and the other 8 people or 7 people, they didn't have any effects. They just lost their taste and smell. I was the only one who felt like I was about to kick the bucket. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. You know, when I seen you post that on the gram, I was really taken back. I was like, this is just like too serious. You know what I mean? What happened with Fred the Godson and you posting it, I'm like, this is too much. So I've really been keeping myself away from a lot of people. You know what I mean? I've been doing the interviews like this lately, but you know what I mean? What was it that you was doing out in New York, man? I know you guys be passing that Henny around.
No, I was in Massachusetts. I was in Cambridge when I caught it.
Okay.
I went to Lawrence, Mass, shot a video, which, if you know where Lawrence is from, that's like Nicky Jam and shit. It's like the Spanish section of Massachusetts. I went to Lawrence, then I went back to Cambridge. I went to the projects that night because this girl from around our way died, and I was just within that time, I probably came in contact with like 100 people type shit.
Yeah, I be seeing your lives. I see how it goes on your lives.
Yeah. I was probably with like 100 people, but I never thought, you know, it would be me. But I'm kind of glad, you know, that I'm kind of glad I did get it now, because I don't think you could get it again for real.
No, just to tap in about that a little bit. My aunt actually, my great aunt, 85 years old, she had got the coronavirus. I seen my brother actually posted about it on Facebook. She got the coronavirus and she beat it. Still alive, healthy, you know what I mean? So that says a lot that an 85-year-old woman could actually beat it, man. So, but I'm just glad you're great, you're good, man. Your health is the most important thing, you know what I mean? You're out here changing people's lives every day, Millyz.
Yeah, I almost didn't post it either. I actually hit my man Set Free, and I was like, should I post? Should I tell people that I got COVID? Because, you know, I feel like a negative connotation comes with it. But I posted it, and I got a lot of love, you know what I mean? And my shit was so severe, I was getting love, but I wasn't even checking social media for like 5 days. Like, I was up, you know what I mean? But when I really got back around to checking it, I felt the love. Word.